Spanning the SEC.
The game of the weekend in the SEC was Texas A&M's 35-28 victory over Arkansas in overtime in Arlington, Texas. A game that showed once again that when you're one of those programs that's been struggling for a while, hasn't had a lot of success, it's so tough to get that breakthrough win. Arkansas, clearly an improved team, did everything they needed to do to get a win of this magnitude for about the first 56 minutes. But those last four, they miss a field goal that would have put them up 10. They allow a 56-yard touchdown by Texas A&M to tie the game. And then in overtime, Texas A&M was able to really make the plays they needed to make and come out with the victory. Very tough loss for Arkansas, certainly showing progress, but also just a great win for Texas A&M in a game that really didn't look like they were going to be able to get done for a long, long time. They're able to keep their undefeated season going. The SEC's top performance of the weekend goes once again to Georgia running back Todd Gurley, who came through with 208 rushing yards on 28 carries in a game that Georgia really needed him to produce. Quarterback Hudson Mason struggled, wasn't very accurate, and Georgia didn't get a whole lot out of its other running back. They really needed Gurley to get things done, and he had a big 51-yard touchdown run that pretty much sealed the game for Georgia, gave them some breathing room when they really needed it in the fourth quarter. The developing story in the SEC is LSU's ever-changing quarterback situation. Anthony Jennings began the season as the #1 guy for the Tigers. He's played the most snaps this year, but they've really struggled in the passing game. And now Saturday, Brandon Harris, a freshman from right outside of Shreveport, came in and was very efficient in a victory over New Mexico State. Yes, it was just New Mexico State, and certainly the level of competition is not what the Tigers will see in the SEC, but he was very efficient. He was 11 for 14, 178 yards, threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, while Jennings really struggled, had 2 picks on only 5 pass attempts, and that's certainly now going to be a question moving forward for LSU, is whether they make the switch full-time to Harris, who really didn't get a lot of snaps early in the season. He's looking right now like he might be their best option. Well, next weekend is really looking like Separation Saturday in the SEC, particularly in the West, where 6 teams will play each other, all of whom are in the top 25. Of course, Alabama at Ole Miss, first time ever ESPN Game Day, will be broadcasting from Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss with that really ferocious defense, playing an Alabama team that has struggled a little bit in the secondary and hasn't quite been sharp, but usually rises to the occasion. Just down the road, you've got Texas A&M going to Mississippi State, who has a bye week but is coming off that big win 2 weeks ago over LSU. And then, of course, you've got LSU going to Auburn in a game that is really going to be crucial for the Tigers if they want to get back to the national championship game. And really, if LSU loses, they're probably going to be eliminated from the Western Division. Just an awesome Saturday of college football in the SEC.
Spanning the SEC.